He died before they could hang him, but not before the earth itself learned his name. This is the story of Marmaduke Buckle. York is a city built on bones. Roman bones, Viking bones, the bones of traitors, the bones of plague. But some bones, some souls, refuse to stay buried. And none are more feared than those of Marmaduke Buckle. He was born in 1697 in the heart of York, a crooked child, twisted at the spine, with a malformed skull and strange fits that shook his body like a rag in the wind. Today, we'd call it epilepsy. Back then, they whispered darker names: Devilborn, Witch's Brat, Hell's Child. His mother died bringing him into the world. His father, once a cloth merchant of decent standing, went mad not long after, and they locked him away. And so Marmaduke was left alone. Alone with the fits, the whispers, the cold gaze of a city that wanted nothing to do with him. They say he rarely spoke, but when he did, it was with perfect memory. He could recall sermons word for word, the exact cries of animals before slaughter, and the names of girls he had never met. At the age of 15, he was arrested for assault. At 16, again, this time for what they described only as devilish conduct. By 17, people feared him. Then came the murders. The first was a girl named Anne Thwaites. She was found near the River Ouse, strangled. Her mouth sewn shut with linen thread, her body laid out like it was being offered. Days later, a second girl, Sarah Alderson, was found in Walmgate. Same marks, same eerie stillness. And then they arrested Marmaduke Buckle. He didn't confess, he insisted. He claimed responsibility for 6 deaths, some the constables hadn't even discovered yet. He spoke of a woman whose names weren't yet in the death rolls. One of them, a woman named Ruth Steed, was found days later, killed exactly as Buckle had described. They sentenced him to death. He was to be transported to Halifax, where the gibbet stood waiting. But Buckle had other plans. The night before he was due to hang, he killed himself, hung from a strip of blanket in his stone cell beneath York Castle. He was just 18 years old. Now, by law and by church decree, a suicide could not be buried on hallowed ground. They called it self-murder. And so Marmaduke Buckle was buried in secret, in unconsecrated earth, outside the walls of the city. No stone, no name, no prayers. But the grave did not stay quiet. First, a prison guard went mad, found huddled in the corner of Buckle's empty cell, biting his own lips until they were bleeding. He died weeks later. Before he passed, he whispered, "He's still here. He won't sleep." Then, a stonemason hired to carve Buckle's name in the gibbet stone in Halifax was found hanging in his own workshop. The carving was complete, and you can still read it today. Marmaduke Buckle, self-murdered. But that's not the end of it. In 2019, a team of amateur historians tried to find Buckle's grave using thermal scans and 18th century burial maps. They focused on a stretch of land off Hull Road, Old Gallows Ground. unused and overgrown. During the scan, one of the researchers collapsed. No history of illness. When he came to, he was screaming about a boy, trapped in the earth, screaming in chains. The scan revealed something metallic. A gibbet cage, human-sized, buried intact. The team stopped digging. They never published their findings. And now, the stories have returned. A hunched figure seen limping past the city walls at dawn, a chill in the air near St Andrew Gate, the sound of thread tearing just behind your ear. They say if you walk alone, just past midnight, if you whisper his name, Marmaduke Buckle, 3 times while touching iron, you'll feel him behind you, breathing and watching. If you run, he won't follow, but if you look, your back will seize, your spine will twist, and you'll carry him with you for the rest of your short life. Marmaduke Buckle died in 1715, but York never let him go. And some say he never left at all. My name is Jamie. I hope you enjoyed.